Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that could, quite literally, redefine your entire business trajectory. Our mission over the next few minutes, well, it's simple but pretty ambitious. We're going to look at exactly how to transform your small to medium enterprise from just another standard transactional vendor into a strategic long-term enterprise partner. And to do that, we're using one of the absolute biggest industrial giants out there as our blueprint.
So, here's the million-dollar question. How exactly do you break into Honeywell's supply chain? I mean, it's the ultimate challenge, right? It frustrates countless B2B sales professionals trying to land those massive, lucrative global contracts. You send emails, you fill out generic contact forms, and crickets. You hear absolutely nothing back. It totally feels like there's this secret corporate procurement code that's just impossible to crack. But here's the truth. There's actually a very specific, highly structured logic to how these enterprise giants operate.
And right now, there's a massive financial opportunity unfolding right in front of us. Honeywell Automation India and Honeywell International India are executing a wildly aggressive strategic pivot. Driven by the Make in India initiative, they're rapidly pulling away from international imports and looking hard for local Indian partners. And listen, this isn't just some temporary flash-in-the-pan trend. We're talking about a multi-year mandate.
So here's our tactical briefing agenda for today. First, the strategic pivot, then target identification, followed by the technical mandates, the onboarding workflow, and finally, tactical engagement. We're breaking down the whole shebang, from macro strategy down to the exact email templates you'll need.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the strategic pivot, capitalizing on the Make in India localization shift.
So behind closed doors, Honeywell is urgently working to mitigate regional supply chain risks by aggressively transitioning away from imports. But you really have to understand this key point. They are absolutely not looking for one-off transactions. Honeywell wants to build solid core partnerships. They're actively trying to construct these massive, long-term manufacturing ecosystems across their major hubs. We're talking Pune, Bengaluru, Gurugram, and Madurai. If you can prove to them that you belong in that ecosystem, the volume of business on the table is just staggering. Moving on to Section 2, Target Identification. We're mapping out the 3 specific Honeywell entry gateways. Now, you have to know that Honeywell's procurement is heavily segmented. So generic outreach, it completely fails here. You've got to target the precise gateway that actually matches your manufacturing capabilities. For instance, if you do precision machining or electronic manufacturing services, your target is Aerospace Technologies in Bengaluru and Madurai. Make sense? Now, if you manufacture fabricated parts or castings, you need to be speaking to industrial automation right at the Pune factory. And if your thing is IoT edge devices or smart controls, building automation in Gurugram is your target. You literally have to lock on to your specific lane so you're pitching to the exact right internal buyers. Okay, let's look at Section 3, the technical mandates. Here we'll cover the HOS, ESG, and TCO requirements.
To even have a shot at winning these long-term contracts, you absolutely must integrate into the Honeywell Operating System, known as HOS. And the crucial buzzword here is interoperability. Basically, your hardware and software have to interface perfectly, cleanly with Honeywell Forge, which is their primary industrial IoT data platform. Why does this matter so much? Because interoperability is exactly how you lock yourself deeply into their engineering and operational matrix. If your tech speaks their tech's language fluently, you instantly become incredibly sticky as a supplier.
Next up on the mandate list is the ESG Blueprint. And this is a big one. You need to provide full disclosure of your Scope 1 and 2 emissions, so essentially the direct and indirect carbon footprint of your daily operations, alongside your waste management protocols and how you integrate circular materials. Let me be clear, environmental compliance is absolutely no longer a nice-to-have bullet point on a corporate brochure. Nope, it's a strict, non-negotiable benchmark that you have to pass during their corporate vetting to align with Honeywell's own carbon neutrality goals. And you know, that flows perfectly right into the total cost of ownership, or TCO. Look, way too many suppliers lose deals because they just focus entirely on quoting the absolute lowest unit list price. But Honeywell buyers, they're evaluated on TCO. They're looking for holistic, big-picture value. They want to see a clear, tangible roadmap from you for long-term cost reduction, shared productivity increases, and exceptionally low defect rates. Basically, they want you to reduce their overall supply chain friction, not just toss them the cheapest possible parts.
Which brings us to Section 4, the onboarding workflow. Let's talk about navigating those portals and validations.
All right, this right here is the exact step-by-step professional onboarding sequence you're going to face. First up, vetting. You need your DUNS identifier number and 3 years of audited financials locked and loaded. Second is targeted outreach. This means connecting directly with global commodity managers and supplier quality engineers. Step 3 is systems integration, getting an internal sponsor to actually trigger your onboarding into their Evalua and SAP Ariba portals. Fourth is your VAV presentation. That's value analysis and value engineering, where you pitch your true value as an import substitution. And finally, validation. This is where you have to pass a rigorous on-site facility audit led by a Honeywell engineer. Let me warn you right now, bypassing any of these corporate systems will immediately stall your deal. Okay, we've made it to Section 5, Tactical Engagement. Let's dive into the follow-up cadence and the exact email templates. Now, this timeline on your screen, it's your ultimate blueprint for persistently contacting procurement leaders without getting yourself flagged as annoying spam. It's a highly disciplined 60-day cadence. You start on day 1, follow up around day 8, hit them with some hard technical proof on day 21, and pivot to portals around day 50. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. Never ever send a lazy, just checking in email to a corporate buyer. No way. Every single touchpoint has to deliver high-value intelligence.
Let's actually look at the precise wording from the Day 1 pitch template. Right off the bat, import substitution, a local alternative to imports. Do you see what that does? It brilliantly anchors right onto Honeywell's immediate pain point. They are sick and tired of expensive, slow, international imports. So you're leading with the exact solution they are literally mandated to find, speaking directly to cutting down lead times and lowering landed costs.
Then, at touchpoint 1, which happens between days 7 and 10, the language shifts to agitate the buyer's problem. You want to highlight a specific metric about reducing customs clearance friction. Think about it. By bringing up the massive headache of customs and then gently reminding them that your localized facility makes that exact headache disappear, you're providing a highly compelling, crystal-clear solution. Now we're at day 21, and you deploy the technical proof. Here's a secret. Procurement managers don't audit quality. Supplier quality engineers do. So by confidently stating your exact defect rate right in the email, like saying you operate at under 50 parts per million, and then offering sample batches for their lab stress testing, you essentially prove right then and there that you are fully prepared for their rigorous engineering audits. And then, right around day 50, you execute the portal registry pivot, asking whether they prefer you to register via Evalua or SAP Ariba. Honestly, it's a total masterstroke. It proves to them that you speak corporate. You aren't awkwardly asking them how to do business with them. You're showing them you already deeply understand enterprise system integration, and you're just politely waiting for their preference. It completely flips the dynamic. But hey, what happens if they just don't reply at all? Well, item 1 is the classic amateur mistake. You just keep emailing and spamming a silent manager and absolutely tank your company's email domain health in the process. You definitely for sure do not want to do that. Instead, you need item 2, the silence contingency plan. If the 60-day cadence doesn't get a bite, you safely maintain the relationship by shifting horizontally to their peers at specific plants. You start posting your technical achievements on LinkedIn so they see you organically, and then you wait. You wait for a public trigger event, like a major factory expansion, to organically re-engage.
So, as we've seen throughout this explainer, enterprise procurement isn't just some random lottery. It's like a giant, highly structured puzzle. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. Are you ready to stop acting like a local vendor and start speaking corporate as a true global partner? If you apply this playbook, target the right gateway, prove your technical readiness, and execute that onboarding workflow flawlessly, the opportunity is literally waiting for you.